Love is in the air, but the
No. We say life is in the air, but the air is highly polluted. The air connects us. It travels among us. It neither discriminates nor depreciates us. We decided to create something for the air, that unconditional friend we all share. This is why Hydro was born, and you long for the city. We are Cincodos, a Colombian collective which is focused on the development of sustainable projects that invite human beings to get back to their roots.
through time, we have drifted away from the well-being of the earth, despite our attempts to control it. This is why we created this project, a microenvironment that keeps us connected, that makes us change the idea of increasingly toxic cities and turn them into conscious ones.
Bogota, where we live together and where we have grown up, is going through an air quality crisis. We are getting sick with the same element we need to live. Around 8,000 people die each year from polluted air, and the numbers are rising. Capital cities around the world are large emitters of pollution due to their industries and means of transportation. But what can we expect from cities that host thousands of people who are unaware of each other? With the current COVID-19 situation, we have realized that we need to think as a collective. We are hopeful that when the pandemic is over, our society will come together, finding remedies for increasing pollution. We need to realize this is not just a problem of nature, it's a problem for everyone. We are all connected. If our environment gets sick, we will also be sick. We found that in Bogota, the areas with largest concentrations of contamination happen to be in neighborhoods with a highly dense population and poverty, like Kennedy or La Sevillana, where big factories, the smell of a rotten and contaminated river, the biggest slaughterhouse of the area, and two of the most congested roads of Bogota come together. Colombia is a country where inequality is drastic, so we need to question ourselves. Don't we all deserve to breathe without worries? We arrived at the conclusion that air has become a privilege for a few, and that we must find a way to get everyone to breathe better air.
This new way of living in the city moves us. That's the reason why we propose a future in which we reconnect with nature and understand that we can mobilize to get together as citizens and breathe within the world in which we all want to live. We propose a system that does not devalue. On the contrary, one that generates life and moves initiatives to go hand in hand with our project.
This is Hydrometro, a new mass transportation system inspired by the meteorological conditions of our town, but that could be settled in other rainy paved cities, like Mexico City or Mangalore, India, connecting them like Bogota, and improving mobility for everyone. But what is the most important thing? That we will have healthier cities, lowering substantially the emission of greenhouse gases. This is a metro system that works with hydrogen, a biofuel we get from microalgae and rainwater. And do not worry about the lacking of rainwater, as we have a storage system, in addition to taking into account the long rainy seasons in Bogota. Thus, we no longer have to worry about the alarming amounts of CO2 resulting from daily transport. We will mainly emit water steam. Through an eco-friendly system with easy access for everyone, we want to set out a collective change, where cities are seen as agents of massive change, reconnecting its citizens with nature.
To get into the operation system, first, we need to understand how hydrogen is obtained. The process begins with rainwater pools, made of laminated glass, where the microalgae are grown. The species that we use is Chlorella vulgaris, which besides growing in large quantities and very rapidly, is capable of absorbing CO2 and using it as a nutrient. But because we use rainwater, we also inject the pools with nitrates to feed them properly, which are obtained from wastewater treatment plants. Once the microalgae are grown, the rainwater is drained into micro hydropower plants, generating electric energy that provides power for the station. But in case the rainfall periods are inconsistent, we have two energy storage batteries under the station that save energy when there's more production than required. Water follows its path and is never wasted. The microalgae that we previously collected are dried, and this organic matter is the biomass that will later provide us with large amounts of hydrogen. The process we use to convert rainwater and biomass to hydrogen is called electrolysis and works by applying voltage to these elements. Their molecular composition separates and transforms, and at the end of the process, we obtain hydrogen in the form of a gas, which we store and inject to the metro when fuel is needed. And be sure that there isn't a significant risk with the hydrogen tanks, as we will take all the necessary safety measures with such a flammable gas. In addition to that, the biomass that remains from the hydrogen process is used as a biofertilizer for the plants located in the hydrometers and in each station. This is how each element of our system uses what is given to us by nature. What we produce is what we use, just like a cycle. Furthermore, because we are using rainwater in our system, we are providing paved cities with a new service, reducing the risk of flooding. This happens due to the impermeability of the soil in cities, which is why we decided to rely on the concept of a sponge city, which becomes another advantage of hydro. The system also works as a sponge as it absorbs the energy of the stopping metro for later use.
We can all access this way of transport that will cruise through the city. We reach it through escalators, which by crossing through a large number of plants and atmosphere inspired by nature, will take us to the station. It's elevated because we don't want to affect or destroy any area, the opposite. We want to embrace the communities near the station, generating life underneath it. The station has 2 lines, which are 140 meters long and will carry about 1,800 passengers. In contrast to Transmilenio, the transportation system at the present time that operates with bi-articulated buses that are 27.2 meters long and carry only 242 passengers. In addition, we offer an experience that connects the city of Bogota and allows us to breathe easily. Movement is life, and our lungs will feel it.
Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale.
How does it feel to breathe? I hope it feels good, but you must also know that it is not a privilege for everyone. This is Bogota, a city that welcomes more people than it can truly hold. It is a huge city, very diverse, but sadly there's a huge social difference between citizens. While in one side of the city there are beautiful buildings, huge highways and green parks, in the other side there are many essential industries that provide for the entire city. Now you get to imagine where the most contaminated area is. This division in the map shows how very important workers have to cope with these harmful conditions, being the backbone of the city. However, the nicer side is not all perfect, as our means of public transportation and the great amount of cars contaminate this half as well. We knew we had to do something about the contamination. Let us introduce you to a better present. We bring you Hydro, a new transport system that can be used by everyone, no matter where they are. It works just with the powerful fuel of hydrogen, a zero-emission gas. Now imagine a metro that just releases water steam as it goes through the city.
But wait, there's just a small problem.
It is very difficult to find this element by itself in nature. But don't worry, we used recycled rainwater and microalgae that grows easily in it to provide hydrogen for us. Problem fixed. Our advanced biotechnology uses an electrochemical process called electrolysis to extract hydrogen from organic matter and natural resources that are of course not being used. But as this is a complex system and so as not to bore you, let's talk about results. We now have a very efficient conveyance system, which many people are happy to use in their everyday life. We also have work opportunities within Hydro's infrastructure, and the most important, clean air for the city, allowing us to breathe better, knowing that the air that surrounds us is not toxic or harmful to us. Bogota, a city of hard-working people and where rain is a daily friend, has already taken the first step. Now it's time for every great city to think about its separated community, fading nature, and threatened environment and join us, knowing that this is a whole new opportunity to improve our life on Earth. Hydro is the new lungs for the city,